welcome back to my craft room. So today we are going to, let me just say, my vision, I hope it turns out like my vision. Let me just show you what we're going to be using. One of these little chalkboards from the Dollar Tree, some of these glass stickers from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to be using one of these little Dollar Tree lights. Make sure it's going to work for us. That's not good. I don't see a little pull tab, that's why I just thought to look. Well, we might have to pretend it works. It doesn't sound good. Alright, so pretend it works. And I will maybe be able to change the battery out with another one maybe and see if we can get it to work. Let me just see. Should be prepared. I should be prepared for this kind of thing. Maybe the battery just wasn't in good. Let's try it and turn it on. No. Alright, so we're just going to go with it and pretend that it works. I do have another one in a different color. It's green. I'll change the battery when we're all done, but we're going to make sure yours works. If you grab one of those from the Dollar Tree, they do still have those out. So the first thing that we're going to do though is take this hinge thing off. This is the little kickstand. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to grab the little wooden piece with my pliers, and I'm going to use my heat gun, and I'm going to blow hot air on that until it releases from the back. Once you heat up that glue, it will pop right off. Just keep putting pressure on it. It's moving, and there it goes. Came right off. Took a little bit of the paper off, but that's okay. So this is what it looks like now. Now we're going to turn it long ways, and we don't want, so this is already slanted on a miter, so I'm just going to take this little piece as a screw in the back. That's what makes it hinge. So I'm going to take the paper off the back of that, try to clean that up a little bit. I'm going to grab scissors and try to cut along the edge, and maybe that'll make a little neater, make a little neater, because I'm going to try to save this little wooden block as a notch. So we'll put that aside, and I'm going to take the little screw out of, I'll put that aside too. So now we just have this stick that's mitered. Alright, then let's see. I want to use, we're going to glue this on the top of our chalkboard now so that it looks like this. Before we do that, we're going to decorate, but it's going to go on the top like that. And so I want this piece to go back at the end for a notch. I hope that makes sense. But before I do that, I'm going to take some kind of tool, like maybe this, any little tool, and I'm just going to put a little notch, because this is what I want to do. I want to make a little notch in the soft wood that will hold the little, so that when this is slanted, it won't fall. So we have to do that a little bit over and over. Just kind of wiggle it over and over until it is a little deep enough that it will hold maybe even a screwdriver, or I have a little ice pick. That might even be better, although that did a pretty good job actually. That did a pretty good job. This scraper did a great job, because this is very soft wood. So I got a perfect little notch here. I'll show you. Hope you can see that. I don't know if you can see it or not. So that is going to be good. And then we're going to sit this little piece that this was screwed on the side. We're just going to glue that right to the end here. And we'll put that aside. And we're going to decorate. I'm going to decorate our chalkboard up a little bit. Did I want that? Yeah, I guess that would do. I think I wanted, I think I did that backwards. Let me take this off. This is what I did. I made a T, but I want that actually, to go this way. I'll show you the opposite way I did it. Just like this. Holding. Somebody wrote that I don't hold my things long enough, and that's why I get the spider webs. Okay, so now I have it going that way. So this will prevent my thing from falling off. Okay, now before we glue this peg onto the chalkboard frame, I was thinking I would like to put a whiter, I'm going to use some start over. I'm going to use my white chalk from Waverly Chalk Paint, and I'm just going to put a little bit of white around the edges here so that it looks like it's supposed to be white, if that makes any sense. I need to get a new jar. We're at the bottom here. And I'm going to be very careful not to get where my chalkboard is. So I'm just going to try my best. I'm not going to go bother with the inside edges. Just already got, already smudged my chalkboard. So I'm taking a baby wipe. I'm going to see if I can rescue this real quick. Baby wipes are very forgiving for things like this, especially if you're painting a house even. A wet rag, a baby wipe is very, very forgiving. So if you do happen to hit it, you can get it while it's still wet with the baby wipe. And that's what happens sometimes when you're trying to be quick. I mean, when you do this, you're not going to have a camera watching you, so you can take your time more and make sure that you don't hit your inside chalkboard. Sometimes it's hard for me to talk and paint at the same time, but I'll do my very best. Nobody wants to sit and watch paint dry, right? Or watch somebody paint. You know how to paint. But I figured we would do this up together. We have one more side here now. And then we can dry this up. And then we're going to put a little antique Waverly wax. I have still not gotten to Walmart. When I got home, as a matter of fact, my bestie should be pulling in any minute. But when I got home from vacation, my bestie and I went and got groceries, and I was pretty tired from vacation, so I didn't go anywhere that I could get that Kilns dry dark wax. So I am still using my Waverly Antique Wax, but I love Waverly Antique Wax, so I'm not sad about that at all. I am not sad, but I need to put this on my list when I go to Walmart because I am definitely running low. Alright, we are not even going to do the sides of this. We are going to just give it a little antique Waverly wax and we can get that with the sides as well. So let's just dry this paint up real quick. Okay, it's pretty good. Alright, let's hit it with some Antique Waverly wax. And we're going to do pretty much a dry brush technique. I like to get a pretty stiff brush for that. And just dab it on a paper towel or a baby wipe. Get most of it off. And then I like to just drag it from the outside edges in one direction. I'm a big fan of going in the one direction when I'm dragging Antique Waverly wax. Then I'll go back and forth over this long edge and I'll put a little more pressure on it and I'll make it grubbier in the corners. You get a feel for this when you are using the wax. You get using it over and over again. You get, I know, I'm not showing you, I'm so sorry. I get talking and doing this and forget to show you. So I just start putting a little more pressure, a little more pressure, a little more pressure until I'm happy with my corners. But like I said, you will find the right amount of pressure. And then I'm just going to go up the sides a little bit with it. Rubby those sides up. Nobody will know that we weren't supposed to paint those. It'll just blend right in. And there we have it. So we have that now. And now we have to do a similar technique with the stick. We have to paint the stick white. Not all white, because we're going to sand it. But we want most of it white. We'll do the same technique. White wash. I guess that's what we will call this, a white wash. Because we're not being particularly fussy about it. Alright. Just covering our wood for the most part. Because it's going to have our little lantern hanging on it. I hope that's the battery that's not working in my battery, because I mean in my little lantern, because that's fixable. If not, then I will show it to you with the other lantern at the end, just so you can get the full effects. Alright, so let me just let this a little whoosh dry. Give it a little tiny dry brushing of wax so it looks like the other things. Again, going with the same motion. I like to get my corners hard because that's where it would be most used. And if you don't realize what's going to show, just do it all. Do it all until you're happy with it, and then you have it. Alright, that's all zhuzhed up. Now we're going to take this and we are going to glue this onto the top of our frame, right in the middle. I'll show you. Do it this way, and then I'm going to see if I can figure out where the top is. I mean the top, where the middle is, I mean. And it's perfectly mitered, so we don't have to worry about that part, which makes it a nice, neat, tidy job. Little bit of glue I want to wipe off there. Okay, trying to hold it down, hold it down, hold it down, so that I don't have glue cobwebbies We're gonna let that sit real tight for a second, and I'm going to take these glass, well, they're calling them glass stickers. And I thought that they came off in a sheet, but they don't. They're one at a time. Let me know in the comments if you've done anything with these glass stickers. Let me get this out of the package here. Oh. So it's on a canning jar. That's how they're showing it. Let me see. Yeah. Get rid of the trash. And okay, so they're showing it on a canning jar, and it comes off on a sheet. So I thought, well, that's perfect. It'll fit perfectly on there, and I'll rub it off. And no, it doesn't do that. So what happens is, I couldn't figure out how this came apart to do that. It doesn't do it. You have to take these off one at a time. So I decided to just put one in each corner of my chalkboard, just to make it a little more fancy. I'm just putting one in each corner, just to zhuzh this up just a little bit. I really wanted to do the whole thing, the whole sheet on the chalkboard, because I thought it would really reflect the light behind it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to do my 4 corners. So there are my 4 corners, and I'm not sure that this is ready to hang anything off of yet. So I'm going to let that sit tight, and I am going to put this on pause, and we're going to give this a little bit longer before we put any weight on it. Be right back. Okay, so while we let that dry a little bit more, I did put a new battery in, and this is working. Now it's going to call me a liar. Oh, there we go. So we're just going to take a little Waverly Antique Wax and smear it on a little bit so that we can, here is my bestie now. Hey, Peep. We're just going to do a little dry brushing and zhuzh this up a little bit so that it matches the same color in our peg and on our chalkboard, so that it looks old and antique like our other things.
I look old and antique.
I look old and antique too, Pete. I feel old and antique. Alright, so let me just get these X's in the middle here a little bit. Old and antique. Maybe that's why I like things old and antique, because I can relate. I don't know, but I definitely like them on the older side here. I just like the character it gives it. Alright, let me give you a close-up. One more little X. And again, I'm going in the same direction. All over it. And we don't have to worry about the inside of it. So there we have it all antiqued. Now I'm going to give the bottom just a tiny bit. You really don't have to, but just for a consistency's sake, I'm going to. I might even put a piece of felt down there, but for now, this is what we have. And we are going to try this and see. We're going to pray. Everybody pray. We have to put a hanger on the back of this too. But we're going to try and see. Why is this candle giving me a hard time? I want you to stay on, little light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Okay, it's on. Hopefully it'll stay on. And hopefully it'll hold this on the peg. And then we just have to make a little hanger. Isn't that cute? Oh, it fell down. I'm gonna have to just give it a little glue, a little glob of glue. Let's just give it a little glob of glue and nobody will have to know. And it will stay right here in our little groove. Let it stay there for a minute. And then we're going to just add a little bit of jute to the back of it. That for a moment. And we're going to add just a little bit of jute to the back of it. And that is going to be our hanger. We are just cutting off. I don't even have to cut these off. There's a little toggle from something else that we used. So I'm just going to I'm still not sure that this is dry good all the way. That's why I'm being so gingerly with it. So I'm just going to give this a little, I'm putting this toggle right in the middle on the back on one side. And I'm going to hang this one all the way in the back as well. So that I'm going to have to show you, turn this around. So that this will hang without showing, ooh, that's hot, without showing the hanger at all. Alright, so let me show you the back. See how we have our jute string from one side to the other and back here. So that when this hangs, you're not going to see it from this side. Here is a side view. And here is the front view. And I can see cobwebbies. How cute is that? And this is just to inspire you. There's so many different things. This all came from the back of this chalkboard. All Dollar Tree here. All Dollar Tree. You could make 2 of these and have sconces, one on each side of your child's school picture, or you could put this outside, you could put it in the bathroom. You can do anything similar to this in different colors, but how Farmhouse is that? I absolutely love how this came out. This is a great time for you to give me a thumbs up, even though I'm old and chippy. And what was the other old and antique? I'm taking off spider webs here. But this is a great time for a thumbs up, and sharing is caring. So go ahead and share this video with all your friends, family, and social media. And hit that subscribe button. You know it helps my channel grow. And until the next time that we see each other, I hope that you be good and do good. Bye now.